Hey everyone, what's up? It's the boy Schizomanica. We're gonna have a Blue Exorcist season 2 discussion. So recently, within the last few days, well, not last few days, probably the last few weeks, Blue Exorcist season 2 was announced. Now, for those who are curious, the original Blue Exorcist series was 26 episodes and came out back in 2011. Apparently, this is going to be based, the second season is going to be based on the revival of the Impure King arc, which, for those who don't know, is the third arc in the series. And you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute, Blue Exorcist is a monthly series, and the first season only covered the first two arcs of the series. Well, yeah, and that's because the first series has a bad reputation of being pretty much a bastardization of the manga, because I think in terms of canon material, it stops at like episode 18 and becomes a filler only arc that completely fucks up the canon for Blue Exorcist in terms of the manga. So the only way you would think they'd be able to do this is if they rebooted the damn anime, which they kind of need to do, because on top of the filler arc that happens at the very end of the series with like a whole bunch of bullshit continuity issues, it also suffers from the fact that even the canon bits, episode 18 and back, especially in those like around like episode 13 and 18, there was a lot of random small changes through shit in those episodes by themselves. And that was a problem to begin with. Now, from what I've heard, I forget the name of the studio who animates Blue Exorcist. I think it might be Aniplex, actually. It might be Aniplex, because I know Aniplex tends to get their own shit, so it might be Aniplex. Alright, that's besides the point. I heard there was another series that went through something similar, where I think from what I've heard, it's Tsubasa Chronicles, where the first season ended up being a bastardization, and then the second season took place where the canon left off of the first season, which could work here. But because like if you can't really go from the end of the first season to the second season, because a lot of the plot of the second season of the first season doesn't make sense. Like that ending section, like showing Yukio has demon powers, that's still like an ongoing plot line in the manga currently. So you couldn't even use that. The same thing with the mother. I don't think their mother was even hasn't even been formally introduced in the manga yet. I mean, we know she's dead, but like I don't think we've even seen her in the manga. And if we have, we haven't seen the backstory that they gave for her in the goddamn manga. I'll say that. That's stupid. I'm in love with Satan, and Satan's really a good guy. That was such. They should have just stopped the 13 episodes and said, nope, we can't do that. We have to keep going. And they shit themselves. And I was curious if people would want me to do episode reviews of season 2, which will come out next year, because it'll be about a 6-year gap between when the first series came out and when the second series is coming out. I'm curious if anyone wants me to do episode reviews, since there was a lot of changes in the first season of the anime, among other issues that I've already previously mentioned. If you are curious about just, how much of the manga would I have to read in order to like jump into season 2? Maybe because you don't want to deal with the bullshit that is the first season of the anime. The first season of the anime isn't bad from what I remember. It's just because of its flaws and because of the random in-canon changes, it becomes kind of a pain to watch, because even the filler included like elements of the later arc. Like, for example, in the manga, since this arc takes place right after the whole Amon thing and the camping trip situation, half of the damn revival of the Impure King arc is based around Ren earning the trust of his friends again, because that kind of got resolved a little bit too quickly in the anime, because it was still an ongoing plot line in the manga. Blue Exorcist is probably, if I remember correctly, Blue Exorcist is just another result of getting an animated adaptation way too early into its manga's life. And I think that's essentially what happened. They animated Blue Exorcist too damn early, and it shit itself at the very end of it all. But what I was going to say is, because of the plot line thing, you're going to have to negate it. But to get back to the recommendation of how, if you didn't want to watch the anime, how much of the manga you would have to read in order to get to where the second season is supposed to start, because it's only starting on the third arc, because the introduction arc is pretty short and the camping trip arc is pretty short. The anime, in terms of canon material, only covered about 15 chapters worth. So really, you could read the first 15 chapters and then jump right into the second season of the anime and be perfectly fine. Which is great for those who want to do that. I just hate the fucking fact that they decided to go this route in terms of addressing it. Because you would think with something like, if you're willing to do a second season for Blue Exorcist, why wouldn't you just fucking reboot it? Like, yeah, okay, fine. It would have been about 13, it would have been about 18 episodes worth of bullshit. But I would have rather have done that than what's gonna happen, because like, let's say season 2 was a perfect rendition, like an anime version of the manga. No changes, no random bullshit changes, no filler, no nothing. That means that if you were an anime only watcher, the way you would have to watch Blue Exorcist to get like a good experience is watch the first 18 episodes of the first season and then jump to the second season and watch all of the second season. That's jarring. And I'm curious for those fans of, if I'm right, I believe Tsubasa Chronicles is the series that went through something similar. If people can tell me, is that how it is for Tsubasa Chronicles, and do people think that's jarring? Because to me, that's fucking jarring. This is like, I know one of my most popular videos on my other channel is how Sekirei Season 3 isn't happening because of all these reasons, whereas Blue Exorcist and possibly Tsubasa Chronicles both contradict those statements. But it also seems like it's the same company doing those shows, and for whatever reason, they have no problem spending the extra money on a series for the sake of doing another season. I wonder why they waited so long, considering all they're doing is the second arc. I mean, the third arc of the manga. The third arc of the manga, but like the second real arc of the series, because the first real arc is the camping trip. The second real arc is this. So I'm curious that they're even bothering to do so, because it's not like, I don't expect, this will probably be about 13 episodes, which is interesting to me. But it's just a weird situation. Like, that's the best way to describe it. It's a very weird situation, because I didn't think they were gonna handle this way. And although I am excited, I mean, I love Blue Exorcist. I've been reading and collecting the manga since the anime came out back in 2011, and I own part of the sub, which is somewhere in this fucking house, probably. I probably have it. I just don't know where the fuck it is. It's one of those series that like needed the I think there's a lot of people were mad with it when it ended, because the way it ended was a bunch of bullshit. So this will be its chance to redeem itself, and it's one of the better arcs in Blue Exorcist. It's not my favorite. I think the test arc they have later on is my favorite, particularly because certain characters end up coming out of the shell. But fucking, this is just a weird situation that they're just adapting it. They're going to adapt it next year. I don't know when next year, but they're adapting it next year, and you're just kind of like, but you've completely fucked the story up for the anime-only watcher. Like, the anime-only watcher is going to be confused as fuck, because if they're someone who watched the entirety of the first series and don't know any better, then it's not going to make sense in the manga. Especially because it was weird. Blue Exorcist kind of hit this weird burst of, like, insane popularity and then died. I mean, think about it. The season, first off, it was one of the few shows to get like 26 episodes right off the bat, with the latter half being bullshit ass filler, and then got a movie and then just disappeared. Blue Exorcist just completely fucking disappeared after that. That's a weird situation. I don't even know. I honestly think they should just reboot it, but that's just me. But you can leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I just kind of want to talk about it, because it was one of those shows that, like, I'm excited to see the second season. I mean, yeah, the second season, because I'm looking forward to that arc being animated, because there are things in that arc I like. But at the same time, I'm like, you've now made a very confusing piece of material, and if they adapt that into the West, I don't know how they're gonna sell that series, considering the first season is a bunch of bullshit. Actually, I would say let's take Tsubasa Chronicles as an example, but now that I think about it, I've never heard anyone talk about Tsubasa Chronicles anime. Is that the reason? I don't fucking know. So leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I was trying to think of a cool catchphrase for this channel, and I can't think of it. Life's insane. Take your pills, and I'll catch you guys later. Life's insane. Take your pills, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Fuck. Tell me how you like that ending. If you don't, give me suggestions. Bye.